Hi, welcome back. Today we have a red version of the creamy salsa that we made in our previous video. So if you haven't checked that out, go ahead and go watch that next. Here are our ingredients. You're going to need some dried arbol chilies, some fresh cilantro, fresh garlic, about a quarter of a large white onion, and one Roma tomato, and I just cut them up into quarters as well. And these ingredients are going to vary. If you like more of something, add it, and if you like less of something, then go ahead and just put less. You're also going to need some cooking oil for sauteing and also for your blending process. And here I have some tomato sauce just on standby. If by any chance you make your salsa a little too spicy, you can thin it out by adding tomato sauce. The texture won't change too much for the chili, but it will cool it down and allow you to still keep the color. So other things that I'm going to need today are also going to be your pan, of course, and a spoon that you can saute the vegetables with and scoop them up afterwards, the blender, and I have some jars that I picked up at the dollar store, and I'm going to be using those today to put the sauce in. Okay, so here I have about a quarter cup of oil that's been warming in this pan, and I threw in a dry chili pod just to test if the oil was hot enough for me to start sauteing the stuff that I need. So that chili pod will just have a little bit of bubbles around the edges, and that'll be when you know that it's ready. So here we're going in with all of the garlic, and I just want to let that fry a little bit to release some of the aromas and flavor of that garlic into the oil. Now here you can eyeball or put as little or as much as you'd like. I think I put about a third to maybe a quarter of a cup. Keep in mind that these chilies are very, very spicy, so while you are frying them up like this, the smell will get into the air, and it could cause people sensitive to it to start having watery eyes or coughing. If that's the case, just open up some windows, some doors, or make sure that you have your hood fan over your stove turned on. So here's about a quarter of the large white onion and the one tomato that I've quartered. And I'm just going to want to cook this until the onion is actually translucent, which might take a few minutes. I don't want to burn the peppers at this point, so I turned the fire down. So we're just going to continue to let this cook. The cilantro is going to be used fresh, so you're not going to add that into the pan. And again, make sure that your range hood is turned on. And just keep an eye on it. You don't really want to walk away from this at this point because it's very easy to start to burn, and that will dramatically change the flavor. So just keep checking the onions. I'm just kind of poking at them here to see how soft they are. And they are starting to change color, so we're getting closer. So just keep letting it cook while stirring it every so often. So here I did feel that I needed a little bit more oil, so I added a little bit more and brought it back up to the heat. And now the onions have been cooking for a while, and they were ready. So I just scooped them into my blender, including all of the oil that was in the pan. I already cracked some black pepper in there, and I just added probably about half a teaspoon to a teaspoonful of salt, and just start the blending process. Now, I did not have enough oil to really get the consistency that I'd like, which is why we have the extra oil standing there on the counter. And so we're going to go ahead and add some more at this point until you get the texture that you'd like. If it's able to finally, really catch and start blending well, that's all you need. You don't really need too much. So just add a little bit at a time until it starts blending correctly. Okay, it should look like this, be able to move nice and freely and have a kind of a smooth, creamy texture. So now I just threw in the cilantro to chop it up at the end. And then we're going to transfer all of this into the jars. And so I did fill that jar. I had a little bit left over, so I put it in the bowl for us to just use immediately. And you can see the texture is nice and smooth and creamy. You can use this for tacos, burritos, anything you'd really like. And if you can handle the spice, this actually makes a really good sauce to spread on like tortas. So join us next time when we make a semi-homemade taco recipe. And as always, thanks for watching.